Welcome back, guys, to Little Paul of Horrors. Yes, Little Paul of Horrors, you're on my channel. Mine. Thank you so very much for visiting. Thank you very much for subscribing if you've already subscribed. If you haven't, what are you waiting for? It's right there, right below your screen. Click, 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 click. Just, it's free. I'm here to give you guys my opinionated reviews on horror movies. And I would like to say thank you very much for visiting. And let's get started and jump right into it. A Quiet Place. Day one. This movie was amazing. It was so good. And I cannot wait to tell you how this film affected me. I love this film from the beginning to the end. But before we get into that, let's get started with the specifics about who directed and who's in the movie. So the director of the movie is Michael Sarnowski. And then we have Lupita Nyong'o as Samira, Joseph Quinn as Eric, Alex Wolff as Ruben, and then we have Dijon Hunsu as Henry. And wow, small cast, but what an impact it makes. This movie really resonated with me. And I was extremely impressed by not how only scary it was, the terror that it caused, like the incitement of fear with monsters, the invasion, the uncertainty, people running, scared and screaming, running to hide. These things being, the monsters, extremely fast and capturing them. This movie was not only about horror. It was not only about being or causing fear and having the audience react by becoming scared. It wasn't invoking horror and fear only. But for me, the way that it appealed to me, it was that it had a dramatic effect. There was a dramatic storyline accorded to this movie. This movie makes you feel hope for mankind. Through all the craziness that we're going through now in this world, this movie, I feel, encapsulates the human spirit. It speaks about sacrifice. It speaks about perseverance. It speaks about strength. It speaks about coming together and working together
as human beings, regardless of everything else, regardless of race, gender, orientation, political viewpoints.
It gets rid of all of that. And it brings it down to when humanity is faced with an ordeal, such as an invasion of monsters from another planet or from outer space, if you will. We come together as humans, as people, as human beings, to support one another. I couldn't believe that a horror movie incited this. I haven't felt this way about a horror movie in a very long time. One of the horror movies that I could say is close to that, and it talks about, but it's more on the negative side. It leans more on the negative side, meaning that how cruel humanity can be would be Carrie. And Carrie is more of a Greek tragedy. But this movie, In a Quiet Place, Day One, right here, it goes beyond that. It talks about how we can, as people, as human beings, come together to help one another and to support each other. So the story basically begins with Samira. Samira is played by Lupita Nyong'o. If anybody out there, and again, I don't think so because I don't reach that many people, but If anyone is part of the, Academy of Arts and Sciences and selects people for best supporting, best actor, best actress, and gives the nominations, Lupita Nyong'o deserves one for this performance. I think that this movie deserves a recognition for Best Picture. This movie blew my mind. It was fantastic. So if anybody out there within the sound of my voice or within the shot of my face hears this and sees me, who belongs to that, organization of the Academy, the Fine Arts of Academy and Sciences, or the Academy of Fine Arts and Sciences, please put that into your hat, tuck it away. Lupita Nyong'o, wow, what a performance that was. Now, going back to the story, she plays a character by the name of Samira. And Samira is dying. She's in a hospice. The movie does not state directly what she's dying from, but she is. And basically, from there, she's not very happy. She knows she's going to be dying. She has with her support cat. I love this cat throughout the movie because it's so symbolic, this cat in the movie, that I find that it really added to the film's message. Now, getting back to the story, Samira is in this hospice, and Alex Wolff, who plays Ruben, who is the nurse, has decided that he's going to bring the individuals at the hospice to New York City. They're on the outer outskirts of New York, so they're going to bring. He wants to go to New York City and bring them to a play. It's a marionette play, and from there, as the play is going on, she's not very happy. She doesn't want to be there. And then she says, as they're leaving and as they leave, she wants to go for a slice of pizza. That's what she wants. She wants to get a slice of pizza. And Ruben doesn't want her. He says, look, we can't do it right now because they've been getting these messages on their phones that they have to evacuate the city. They have to leave the city, and or they have to go back to the hospice. And no, she's like, well, okay. She doesn't want to go, but she's like, okay, fine, I'll be going back. And that's where everything ensues. That's where all the destruction and the mayhem and everything just starts to go completely bonkers. And the invasion starts to occur and everything starts to explode. And there's explosions everywhere. And people are running and screaming in the streets. And people are being attacked by these monsters. And they're being killed by these monsters. And she's just trying to find her way. She's just trying to get to where she has to get to so she can be safe. And she has her support cat with her throughout the whole time. And as the movie progresses, there's more tribulations that she has to go through. And then she meets Eric, played by Joseph Quinn. And their journey through the movie is so beautiful. You can find beauty in a horror movie. And this movie just does an excellent job in grasping that emotion, in displaying that emotion. So Samira is dying. She's sick. Eric is not. She is the strength. She is the resilience. So basically, symbolically speaking, Samira is like New York. New York is being invaded by these monsters. Samira's body is being invaded by this disease. New York is coming together to try and support each other through this catastrophic event, this horrific event of these aliens that are coming and destroying and killing. And Samira, in contrast, meets Eric. And Eric is that support that she also receives. Even though he's scared, even though he's terrified, he supports her throughout their journey. If it's going to a nearby bar where he makes her laugh with a card trick, but it's all done in silence. And where he actually risks his life to go and get her the medication that she needs in order for her to be able to continue and to move forward, for them to get out of and to escape New York, because these creatures can't go into the water because they'll die. And Dijon Hunsu, who is also in the picture, he's not in there for very long. You see him in parts. He's towards the end, helps out the character of Eric escape into the water, escape and get onto the boat. But we'll get back to that in a moment. But even the character of Henry, all the other characters, all the other people, you see it in the movie that it's talks about the human spirit against adversity, coming together to help each other through a horrible, destructive invasion that's occurring. And don't get me wrong, this movie is scary. Jump scenes aplenty. More than I can count on my fingers and toes. And the terror that it incites and it invokes adds to the satisfaction that you get knowing and observing and realizing that the whole movie is symbolic about one woman being compared to a city who is being invaded by a disease where the city is too. And she does whatever she can along with the other members of the city. Like the city's trying, the people who live in the city of New York are helping each other out. So is Eric helping out Samira. It's just so beautiful. You just see vulnerability. You see sacrifice. And the ultimate sacrifice that is made. It gives me goosebumps and it makes me feel so emotional when I think about the sacrifice that Samira gives up at the end of the movie to help Eric. And that you see it in this scene right here, in this clip where he's running. That is because of the sacrifice that Samira offers him. And the cat is in a lot of parts of the movie. And you see this cat everywhere. It's her support cat. And this is, the cat represents a part of Samira's character. So basically, it's the part of Samira that is able to walk around the city looking for assistance. Now, this cat finds the assistance with Eric. So basically, the cat brings Eric to Samira. Samira finds her. Eric finds her because of the cat. It's just so beautiful. It's a horror movie that comes along once in a blue moon. You don't find these. These are rare gems. These are horror movies that make you think, they make you feel in your heart and your soul, and they also
scare the crap out of you because, again, I still hold on to that, my belief of the purpose of a horror movie is to scare you.
But in this movie, not only does it do that, but it does so much more. I was just completely satisfied, completely touched. It just reinstalled this faith and hope that, yeah, even though we have all of this evil in the world and all of this despair at times, that at the end, we still can come together and make things better. And that holds completely true towards the end of this movie. What Samira gives up. She knows she's going to die. She knows it. But even though she knows it, she still gives up that sacrifice. She still sacrifices herself. And at the end of the movie, well, let's just say it's kind of surprising, but it's something that you would expect from the franchise itself. So I can only say great things about this movie. Please, if you haven't had the opportunity, it just came out. Please go watch it. Please tell me what you think about my review. What did you think of what I had to say about this movie? Please leave comments below because it's important for me to see other people's reactions. I've read online other individuals, like other critics and some critics focused way too much on the cat. Like, when you're putting out a review of close to 30 minutes based on the presence of a cat in a horror movie, I don't think you're getting the gist of that movie. That's just my personal opinion. So what did you think about what I had to say, as I mentioned before? Please leave a comment down below, like, subscribe, and share this channel. Thank you for visiting. And until the next time, enjoy the show.